Hello and welcome to Online Business Uncovered. This is episode 176, and in today's episode I'm going to be talking about how online networking can help you build genuine relationships that lead to more opportunities and ultimately help you sell more of your digital offers. So let's jump right in and let's get started. Welcome to Online Business Uncovered, the show that lifts the lid on what it really takes to turn your brilliance into digital products, passive income, and time freedom. I am your host, Karen, an online business strategist, course creation expert, and your go-to for building a business that works for you and not the other way around. If you are an ambitious entrepreneur feeling overwhelmed, burnt out, or maybe you're just ready for a smarter, more sustainable way to grow, then you're in the right place. Because each week I'll be bringing you inspiring conversations, practical strategies, and step-by-step guidance to help you create scalable, repeatable digital products that sell even while you sleep. So if you're ready to stop trading your time for money, reclaim your time, and finally build a business that gives you the freedom that you deserve, hit subscribe and tune in every Thursday. Let's uncover what's truly possible for you, starting now. Hello and welcome to another episode of Online Business Uncovered. I'm your host, Karen, and I really do appreciate you hitting that play button to listen to today's episode. Now, I'm going to be continuing with my Summit Speaker series, and today I am introducing another speaker. I am going to be joined by Kelly West, who is a co-founder of the online networking group Only Networking, because we're going to be exploring how online networking can actually help you build genuine relationships in business that will ultimately lead to more opportunities and get you more sales when it comes to your digital offers. So this topic is a topic very close to my heart. I'm really excited about this conversation, and I hope that by the end of this episode you understand how powerful online networking can actually be, not just for your business and for meeting people, but for selling as well. So let's dive into today's episode and let's get started. So I'm really excited to introduce Kelly West, who will be speaking at the event. Kelly West is the co-founder of Only Networking. Kelly, welcome. Thank you for joining me today.
Great to be here. Thank you, Karen.
So I'm really excited because you're going to be speaking at the event. But do you just want to introduce yourself and tell the listeners who you are, what you do, and, a little bit about your journey?
Yeah, absolutely. So my story is big, so I'll condense it for you, not to bore people. As you say, I'm the co-founder of Only Networking. I'm a mum, part of a blended family. I've got a disabled daughter, so I'm a carer as well. And for me, Only was built as the business network for people who like people, because it's kind of like an extension to my family. It's a family business, run it with my husband and my daughter, and we are definitely out there building an online networking community across the UK, the US and Ireland for people to grow together, because being in business is lonely, right? And we want good people around us. We did that because we were frustrated that traditional networking for us often felt too transactional. It wasn't focused on the people, and we believe that business should feel more human. And we definitely wanted people to grow through genuine relationships, not awkward selling, just conversation. And I suppose just to sum that up, running that alongside James has given us flexibility within the family while we care for Kennedy. And it absolutely reinforces our belief that business should support your life, not consume it. Yeah.
Absolutely. No, I absolutely agree. I talk about this a lot, where it's your business is a vehicle that can take you wherever you want to get to. But you have to know what that end destination is in order to get it there. But being able to be surrounded by the right people and be part of communities that support you whilst you're like on the journey, so to speak, I think is really important. And I do think that's what you and James do really well. It is a very empowering network, I have to say. I've been a part of the Only Network, I would sort of say probably 2, 3 years, quite a long
Yeah,
time.
yeah, quite a long time.
Yeah. Yeah, and I don't think I've ever attended a meeting where I've walked away and thought, number one, it was a waste of time, or that I haven't had valuable conversations with really lovely people. So I think you do it really well. And I know you have this thing where you sort of say it's for people who like people.
Yeah.
But it really is. It really is.
We
And
say this, like everything we teach comes back to that belief. People buy from people. I mean, we're stealing that phrase from another organization, aren't we? But it's true. People
yeah,
buy from people. And relationships aren't just nice to have. They're not just the nice part of business. They are your growth strategies. Everything starts from a
yeah.
conversation. So yeah, it's important.
Yeah, 100%. And I think there is a belief in the online world when people are creating digital products and that it's all about selling online. So relationships don't matter because it's all about getting the sales. And this
Yeah.
is something that I see time and time again. This is why there's been a trend in the faceless marketing, because there's a belief that they can just sell what it is that they have to sell without taking the time to build relationships, but relationships are the currency of business, and I think without that,
Mm.
you know, it becomes a bit soulless.
Definitely, definitely. I mean, if you've built a personal brand for yourself and you've built a network of supporters and cheerleaders, ambassadors, when you launch a digital product, there's going to be a percentage of them are going to buy it from you because they buy into
Yeah.
you and what you do. And you've built that through conversation, not just through faceless marketing. That's never going to work.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been really interesting with the summit because I've been talking about the summit now for probably best part of a month. And at the moment,
Mhm.
currently I'm recording this, I've only got the wait list up. So I've got 18 plus speakers, including Kelly, that's going to be speaking at the summit. They're all expert speakers talking, on loads of different subjects: visibility, sales, mindset, marketing, building scalable offers, all of that good stuff. And one of the things that networking has really sort of done for me, number one, it's put me in front of a lot of these speakers, which is amazing because outside of networking, how would I even find these
Fine.
people? But also selling the tickets, selling the upgrade tickets has been really easy because it's a trust thing. And I think when you show up, be consistent, and you take the time to get to know people, when you ask for something in return, like come support me, be a part of this summit, it works. People buy. It converts into those sales. And I think that's an important aspect of it as well, because the relationships have already been formed. So it's a
Definitely.
natural next
Unique
step
on that
for
step.
them.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah.
Totally agree with you. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. So, what's one of the biggest mistakes that you see or misconceptions that you come across that entrepreneurs have when it comes to sort of building relationships online, using online networking? You know, how does that sort of play out for people?
The downfalls. So this one's really easy for me. I think most people treat networking like a lead generation tool rather than a relationship building tool. So to expand on that, they go to get customers. So they don't go there to see who they can have a conversation with. They go there to get a pound sign. They'll pitch too quickly. You
Yeah,
know, we don't talk about pitches, we talk about introductions and conversations, but most people will go, well, I need to go there and pitch because I need to get X from as a result of it.
yeah,
They'll there's a tendency for people to disappear until they need something, and then they come back in and go, oh, I really need this thing now. Because they don't instantaneously get it, it doesn't work, which is wrong. It's the consistency that you need. And then they measure conversions rather than the trust piece. And like you've said, Karen, like you can't put a number on those connections, those collaborations, the information that you get from other people in industries. Solicitors is always a good one. solicitors in your network will give you half an hour of their time. You might be paying £200-300 for that outside of your
Yeah.
network. Are you thinking about all of the extra things that you get from networking? And for me, the businesses that grow consistently are the ones that become memorable. If
Yeah.
people can remember how you made them feel, they're going to pull that information way before they can remember even what you sell. It's how you make
Yeah.
somebody feel. Yeah, it really is. So I think that mistake piece is going into networking or the online space with unrealistic expectations. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. It's interesting, isn't it? Because if you were selling something online, say on Instagram, you're
Mm.
vying against all the noise out there,
Yeah,
that sea of noise that's out there, everybody doing the same thing. But when you take the time and you go to a really good networking group and you take the time to get to know people, have those connected conversations and really spend time building the relationships, everything becomes so much easier because that trust, the people need before they hand over money has been established.
absolutely.
And like you say, I don't think there's just a shortcut to that. I think you have to invest the time, but by doing so, that's how you then sort of,
Mm.
build the business that then kind of works for you.
Yeah. And don't see it as a job. Like, enjoy it. Right. Go along and have fun, have conversations. 'Cause you just don't know where those conversations are going to take you, do you? So yeah, that would be my
Oh,
answer.
I love it. I love a one-to-one. I have some great conversations. It can honestly, I think what's sort of great about it is that you could be really busy in the space of your day, doing all the things, and then you'll have a conversation with somebody and it's just a good old natter.
Yeah.
And it's really interesting where, kind of sales come from because it could just be one thing that just lands with somebody and not just on the side of selling, also on the side of buying as well. When you're talking to somebody and they're like, oh, I'm really passionate about this and this is what I do. And they're like, oh, actually, I need that I need that, that would really help me out. And then, so it is a two-way thing. And I think looking at it as a two-way
Oh,
exchange
definitely.
as well,
Yeah,
you know,
being open to both sides of that conversation, for sure. Yeah, I completely agree with you.
yeah. The good thing about online networking is, do you remember when we did in person pre-COVID and you'd go to a networking group and you'd be handed a business card before anything else? You don't have that online. They can't do
Great, isn't
that.
it?
I love it.
I
You walk through the
finally,
door and suddenly like they're chucking their business cards at you.
I finally about a year ago got rid of my massive pile of, but like they were piling up on the side from like years ago. I hadn't been in
Yeah.
person networking for years. They ended up in a drawer, and I opened the drawer, and I was like, "These need to go. Like this is the
Yeah,
past.
yeah, yeah.
Like,
It's
let's get rid of it."
time. It's time.
Yeah,
Well, it's funny, isn't it? Because I don't know about you, but I haven't done in-person networking since 2020, like, which is really bizarre because before then everything was in person, and I used to do a lot of in-person net because my business at the time was sort of local, but now it is all online, and I think what the beauty of online networking allows is for reach. Because
yeah.
you can be having conversations with people in the US, in Australia, in Singapore, wherever, and it doesn't really matter because you have that you're online and you have that ability to connect in so many other sort of locations and that.
I'm the same. I probably go to 2 or 3 in-person events a year, and that's normally to support somebody that I know that's running it, or one of our members. I went up to London
Yeah.
the other day, and it was virtual clay pigeon shooting, and I thought, well, that would be quite fun. It's not a traditional networking event, and it was great. But the time that is taken out of your day to do that stuff, and you don't get the reach, of course you don't. So yeah, I completely agree
Yeah.
with you.
Yeah. So if someone listening today could take
Mhm.
one action this week to improve their business, what would you encourage them to do?
This is going to be something practical because you can all do this. I would say reach out
Yeah.
to 3 people that you've already met. And they could be somebody you've already had a conversation with. You might have had multiple conversations with them, or it might be somebody you met at a networking event this week. Just pick 3 people that you haven't spoken to for a while that you want to have a conversation with and just check in. Just ask them how they're doing. You might have seen a post on LinkedIn that one of them is celebrating something. So give them congratulations. You might think, actually, that person needs to meet that person, or I'll give them an introduction, or just offer some help if they're asking for some help. But I think pick 3 people, no cold outreach because that makes people a bit, oh, don't know if I like that. You've got plenty of
Yeah.
people in your network that you're probably missing. So just go back and pick 3 people and start up a conversation again, because business isn't built in networking meetings alone. It's built in the bits between the networking meetings. You've got to follow that
Yeah.
up. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's really good advice. And also I'd probably take it one step further from a creator's perspective. If you are in the process of creating something, but you don't know if what you're creating is valid, if there is market demand, if it's going to deliver the results that you're thinking it's going to deliver, this is where networking really
Yeah.
comes into its own, because again, you can reach out to connections that you've made and you can ask them to test your product and
Exactly.
really, you know, get those insights and feedback from people that you trust. I think, you know, this is where you can really leverage networking to
Yeah.
really benefit
Safe
yourself, really.
space. Get feedback on your marketing campaigns, on your messaging,
Yeah,
all of that stuff from professionals that you respect and you admire. Such a missed opportunity. I don't know, sometimes people get embarrassed to ask because they feel like they should have everything together, and
figured out.
why would I go? But not at all. We're all in the same boat. We all have to start somewhere. I love it when somebody comes to me, and I've got it at the moment. Somebody's asked me to beta test their product for them because I gave them some advice, and I'm like, that's really nice because she's taken on board what I've said. She agrees. She's gone and built it, and she said, "Here you go. Do you want to just try it for me?" Of course I will. I can help you do
Amazing.
that. So don't be frightened, because there's always going to be people in your network that want to support you and cheerlead for you.
Yeah, absolutely. And you touched on a really great point that I think is undervalued. When you have these conversations with people that are equally networking and going out and meeting people, the thing that tends to happen that I really value is when you get into that honest conversation about what business looks like for them.
Yeah.
And because from an outsider's perspective, you often look in at a business owner, an entrepreneur, and you think they've got it all figured out. They've got some magic formula where they know what they're doing and they're making loads of money and they're having all this success. And then by having a one-to-one, a conversation, you can actually find out what the truth of it is. And it's not about somebody doing less better than you or whatever. It's about the reality of the world that we're in and how people are approaching their business. And you can learn a lot from that, but also it also releases pressure, because often we find ourselves in a place where we think we have to be 10 steps ahead of ourselves, even though where we are is exactly where we need to be at that moment. But by having these conversations with people you meet online, you realize that not everybody actually has it figured out and everybody's in the same boat,
Mhm.
trying to figure it out together. So I think they're the conversations when I have them that I come away and I'm just like, I really value them, because it's just, it's clarified that when we're all in this together and we're all trying to figure it out. Nobody has the magic formula. And I think actually the more I do what I do, the magic formula is just consistency.
Oh,
That's
definitely.
it.
Consistency is the magic formula for many,
Yeah.
many things, isn't it? Don't get me wrong, you can be consistently doing the wrong thing and that doesn't help. But if you're doing the right thing consistently, yes, it's going to help. And you kind of, what you've said there is that key thing of, if you're having those conversations and you're getting a bit of a reality check, which is always good for us just to see what else is going
Yes.
on outside of our bubble, you're also building that trust, because you're
Yeah.
allowing that slightly vulnerable side to come out. You're showing really what's happening. That trust is enhancing that relationship, so that when the time is right, the referral or the collaboration or whatever it is,
Yeah.
you're just building those next steps of trust in that relationship. I absolutely agree with you. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's just remembering that we're all human.
We're all
You know,
human.
we're not machines, we're all human, and is emotion attached to business growth as well. And that can often come out, you know, and that vulnerability, I think, like you say, I think is a really powerful thing when you tap into it, because it
Mhm.
does build that trust.
Yeah,
So
for sure.
yeah.
Yeah.
One of the themes, obviously, running through this year's Online Business Growth Summit is helping entrepreneurs build businesses that doesn't rely solely on their time. So, how do you think online networking sort of feeds into this to help people create that freedom, generate more income, and build more sustainability in their business?
I think this is probably the most important thing, considering what you're doing with the summit, Karen, and trying to
Yeah,
get people to shift the mindset of what that space is actually all about. So for me,
yeah,
networking or relationship marketing creates referrals instead of constantly chasing cold leads. Like they're coming in with you, having a conversation. You've got people out there bringing that stuff to your doorstep rather than you go out and cold chasing it. You're gaining that repeat business because you're getting those customers through word of mouth. That's a really good space for repeat business. You'll get to a
yeah,
point where certain people, doesn't matter what you sell, they'll end up buying it off you because they come real ambassadors for you. I keep touching on that collaboration space, that relationship marketing and that opportunity to collaborate with other people to maybe have a spin-off service or, share and market each other's services. That's always there.
mm,
Course, the introductions. I talk about introductions versus referrals. I don't really like referrals. Referrals are great. If Joe Blogs wants X, he wants a website doing, I can introduce you to 5 web designers
yeah,
off the top of my head. That's fine. The difference for me is introductions and conversations. So rather than you needing to go out there looking for loads of people to have a conversation with, those people you're networking with who know you really well will bring those people to your door, saving you
yeah,
time again. And it's all those opportunities that you could never have predicted or you would never have gone out there and sought. And I think the key thing for me is in that's kind of freedom space is when your reputation starts opening doors for you, you're then no longer relying on constantly having to market yourself every day and be here, there, and everywhere, and all that time consuming stuff. And then those relationships continue working even when you're not there. Like you're in that
yeah,
space. People talk about you in meetings when you're not there because they know what you do. They know you're professional. You show up consistently. Your branding's great. You're in their minds. You don't even have to need to be in the room. People are referring
yeah.
you on without you being there, and that is a huge, you know, that creates that freedom of time. Definitely.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think that's something, excuse me, I think networking does really well. Um, the one thing I've been really consistent with outside of this podcast is my networking from day dot. I recognized it as being the pathway that I wanted to take in order to build a business. And at the time, so I started what 10 years ago, and I one of my very first networking groups was I attended BNI,
Mm.
and I was part of BNI for 2.5 years, and it gave me some really good grounding, and I learned so much just by being around other people and having conversations and figuring out how did I want to show up, how did I want to build my business, what was important to me. And I think when you're around other people and you're seeing how other people are showing up, how other people are carrying themselves, positioning their offers, delivering their 60 seconds, all of that stuff, you accelerate your growth because you're able to learn by people that are excellent at what they do, other experts in their fields. And there's something really powerful about that. You're not trying to figure out on your own. You're around people in an environment that is designed to support you
Definitely.
and your growth as well.
And
So
lean
I
into
agree
it.
with that. Yeah,
Lean into it, do it well, enjoy it, be present, pay attention, be consistent again, and
yeah,
it'll work. We all know people that are good networkers. They stand out a mile, don't you? You're definitely one of
yeah.
them, right? Because you
Oh,
do
thank
it.
you.
Do what you're
Yeah,
meant to do, though. You're there. I'm here. I just as well do what I'm meant to
yeah,
do. If you're not doing that, you're not building that reputation, and you're not enjoying it.
yeah,
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
top marks, Karen. There you go.
Yeah, thank you,
Good
thank
stuff.
you, thank you. Oh no, that's great. I like to say I loved online networking, and even when I sort of pivoted and started to build out the online side of my business, it it never occurred to me not to do it. And
Yeah,
I find that really interesting in the online space because I'm part of communities of online entrepreneurs, and very few of them network.
crazy,
And
isn't
I
it?
find that I find that massively crazy because not only does it bring clients if that's what you want to do, but you can equally, sell your offers. Through networking, it doesn't just have to mean that you can jump on Instagram, run endless stories, all of that in order to sell. But if anything, it's easier to do because of that trust. So I find it bizarre when I speak to an online entrepreneur that has offers and things that they're selling, but networking is just not part of their strategy. And I just feel like it's a missed opportunity on so many different levels.
Oh, definitely. It's quite common. Like people like to sit behind, you can sit
Yeah,
behind social media a bit, can't you? Whilst you're
yeah,
facing front and you're there, there's kind of a time delay, isn't there? So you might do a live and okay, that's fine. But by the time people see it, you're doing something else, and then, that kind of thing. With networking, it's very much there, isn't it? It's in your face. I've got to be
yeah,
present here now, I've got to be ready, I've got to go. And I think people do struggle with that. But I always say just try it, just do it. Just give
yeah,
it 6 months, persevere, because I guarantee you, if you're feeling nervous at day one, give it 6 months, you're not going to be feeling nervous. If you
yeah.
really hate it still at 6 months, fine, it might not be for you. But there's not many people I meet that don't really love it and enjoy it and gain from it. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So that leads us nicely on to your summit session. So for everybody joining us at the online business growth session, summit, sorry, what are you going to be sharing during your session and why shouldn't they miss it?
Well, it's the work in progress, but I will be sharing how to build meaningful business relationships that actually lead to growth through the online space, and looking at not being salesy or spending every day chasing new clients, but how are you using the online space? If you're producing digital products and you're very much in the online world, how are you utilizing that online networking space? And there'll be some practical strategies, some really simple actions that they can take away, bit of confidence boosting for some people if they need it,
Yeah,
and maybe just a bit of a fresh perspective on networking, because I think networking has it's a bit stale for some people, and it's
yeah,
not anymore. It has moved on. So I guess as well, if networking's ever felt awkward or exhausting, I am there to absolutely show you that it doesn't need to be that thing. So it's about that online space. It's about utilizing the online space, stripping out the social media, looking at networking as a separate entity, and how you can really get growth through that.
yeah, yeah. I think your session's going to be, I mean, all the sessions are going to be amazing, but I think yours is going to be very good and it's going to be very, very interactive, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, really
Yeah.
looking forward to that. So before we finish the interview, I thought it would be fun just to kind of fire some questions at you.
Go for
So,
it.
share whatever comes into your head. So, coffee or tea, what do you prefer?
Coffee, but I don't really like coffee either. I just drink it because I like a hot drink. It's just habit. But coffee.
Oh, coffee. Yeah, I'm with you there. I love it. I love a cup of coffee. So, yeah, probably too many actually.
Too many, yeah. Probably have one in a minute.
What's, I know. What's one business book every entrepreneur should be reading?
For me, it would be The Go-Giver. So that's very much about networking. I mean, I think that comes from the BNI origins anyway, doesn't it? Many
Yeah.
moons ago. But that whole sort of fable around how you progress in business and thinking about people around you, that's aligned to our philosophy within that only. So yeah, The Go-Giver.
Yeah, I always, with BNI, they always say, how you do one thing is how you do everything. That's the thing that I take away from BNI. And I say that to my children. I found myself
Yeah.
sharing that and, because it's so true, isn't it? How you
Yeah,
approach one thing is how you approach everything. So,
definitely.
yeah, yeah, Go Give is a good one. What one tool or app, do you currently use that you couldn't run your business without?
Zoom. Got to be Zoom. God help us if anything happens to that. Like, we should have bought shares in it back in the day.
I know. You've done so well. Well,
Yeah,
honestly,
that's an easy
their
one
their
to do.
market share after COVID must have tripled, if not,
Yeah,
quadrupled. But
if
yeah,
not more.
what's the one best piece of business advice that you have ever received?
So I think stop trying to impress people. Just start trying to help them. I
Oh,
think when you're
like
on your business journey, you go into a conversation and you're trying to be like, oh yeah, I'll do this and I'll do that, and I'm great, because you want that person to really like you. I
yeah.
don't bother with that anymore. I just say who I am, what I do, and then I find out about that person and sort of work out how I can help them. And I'll quite often say, oh, it's been really lovely chatting to you. How can I help you? And that
Yeah, yeah,
makes you memorable. Absolutely makes you memorable.
yeah. And also I think people respond to authenticity.
Oh, they absolutely do. Yeah, they
Yeah.
absolutely
I
do.
think I think you can tell a facade, a mile off. So
Yeah.
yeah, no, that's great advice. And then finally, in one sentence, what does building an online business mean to you?
It means it's good. Well, it's given me the freedom and impact to build genuine human connections, no matter where you are in the world. Like, my life is better, not just from a business perspective, but from a personal perspective too. It has grown immeasurably. I could never be in the place I am now without being so entrenched in the online space. Got connections all over the world. That would never
Yeah.
have happened without, online being such a big place. Um, so yeah, not just from a business perspective, although that's obviously helped immeasurably, but from a personal perspective too. Most of my friends I've never even met in person. It's great.
Yeah, no, it's amazing. I feel it offers, what is it, limitless opportunities for
Definitely,
everybody. Kelly,
definitely.
thank you so much
You're
for
welcome.
sharing everything today, for coming on, being part of the summit. Like I say, I'm super excited about your session. Your session's going to be amazing. For those of you that have not signed up to the wait list, please do so, because you'll be the first to hear about any sort of upcoming things that we've got going on, any offers, any sort of updates. And honestly, this event is going to be amazing. So, Kelly, thank you for being a part of it. And I really do value your time and appreciate you coming on today.
Going to be great. Look forward to seeing everybody at the summit. Thanks, Karen.
Thank you so much for tuning into today's episode. I really hope it's given you something to think about and perhaps inspired you to look at your business a little bit differently. Now, if you've enjoyed this episode, then I'd be grateful if you could share with a friend or a fellow entrepreneur. It really helps more people discover the podcast, and you never know who might need to hear this message today. And if you're ready to start building a business that gives you more freedom, then I would love to invite you to join me at the Online Business Growth Summit. Now, this summit is taking place on the 6th to the 8th of October online. It's completely free to attend, and it's going to bring together over 18 expert speakers who will be sharing practical strategies to help you create a business that you love, a business that truly supports your lifestyle. You can register your free place today by visiting www.sellyourbrillianceonline.com. I will be back next week with another episode, but until then, have a wonderful week. Thanks for tuning in to today's episode of Online Business Uncovered. If today's conversation has sparked an idea or gave you a dose of clarity, then please make sure to check out the show notes for all the links and resources mentioned. New episodes land every Thursday, so hit follow or subscribe to stay in the loop. And if you're loving the show, a quick rating or review goes a long way in helping more brilliant entrepreneurs like you find this show. Until next time, keep showing up, keep sharing your brilliance, and remember, freedom in business is possible, and it starts with taking the next right step.